to go.
All right, quick recap to whoever wants it.
I got it. I got it. I can do it.
All
I can do
right,
it. I
I
can
was
do
about
it.
to say.
As the party bard, I feel it's my duty to do faithful reenactments of what I would remember, which is what Layla would remember, because I gave her that part of myself. Here we go.
Okay.
So,
Layla literally
last
being
night,
asleep for half the night.
this is why it's my perspective. I don't care about anyone. This is the me show. All right, so I was sleeping peacefully, having a good night's sleep, trying to get over everything that had happened, and all of a sudden Lou barges in, middle of the night. He's like, "Troll in the dungeon!" Except there wasn't a troll in the dungeon. There was a fish man in the street, and it was barging in the door. And I'm like, "Lou, why did you lead him here?" And Lou was like, "Well, where else was I supposed to go?" And I was like, "That's a fair point, but it's still really dumb." Anyway, so then Maladin got up and started fighting it, and then I got Leon to help start fighting it because Arias was like, "Whew," clocked out, and then we beat him up, but he beat up a man. And we didn't actually beat him up. They like escaped into the ocean or whatever. And then the man was like barely conscious, but he's fine now and snoozing on the couch with those guys.
You want to talk
Yep.
about him slapping Maladin?
Oh yeah. So we also found out that Leon just has a magical power for slapping people. Not slapping, decking. Please excuse me.
Yeah, sorry.
There was a point in which Maladin kind of went crazy and was just being really weird, and so Leon went up and punched him across the cheek. Nat 20, baby. And Maladin went down, and then he was fine. And then Leon was like, "Okay, I'm tired. I'm going back to bed."
Amazing.
And that's what you missed on the Me Show.
Yep. All right. So, yeah. Long story short, that covered a lot of stuff. Basically, during the night, we decided to investigate the city because we've heard stories about monsters. And there's curfew and everything. In doing so, we didn't warn anybody. Stepped outside. Luckily, everything was okay. But you did stumble across some weird monstrosity nonsense happening at the dock area. And from your point of view, kind of stealthily coming up ahead, you saw that monsters were basically raiding the fish shacks or tents or what have you at the bay and stealing food, trying to eat some, and then also collecting it. And you saw a individual run out and attempt to burn one of these creatures. But in doing so, got attacked by it and something unknown within the water. Before Lou kind of stood up, shot at him, and then dragged them further into the square, where they were kind of outmatched, killing one, but the other two were able to escape. Afterwards, we did check on the male, and he seems to be stable. So you guys took him into the house to kind of recover. Everyone gets a long rest, and we are starting with the next day. So as you guys wake up, are there any specific routines or things that you guys would like to do as soon as possible?
Ooh, yeah. Lou's gonna fix breakfast
Okay.
for how many people are there now? Many
Yeah,
people.
the party's
Three
not
bards.
here.
5. Plus that one guy, 6. Whew, so
Six
good at counting.
breakfast. He's gonna fix like 2 dozen eggs. 1 dozen is just for him. He eats a dozen eggs a day.
Gaston?
Yes.
The diet I need to start using.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Anybody
Perfect.
else? Or it's just
No.
the standard, just like
Uh,
kind of sleep in and wake
yeah.
up naturally.
In the morning, I'm gonna go to the restroom. I want to. I'm look. I want to know how many products Leon uses in his hair, so I'm gonna start going through whatever medicine cabinet he has.
Okay, sounds good. So you would have to go through his room.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Sure. Roll a stealth, I guess.
Okay, I'm not. I'll roll stealth happily. I'm not trying to be sneaky. I'm not trying to wake him up out of politeness, not out of like sneakiness.
Okay.
But either way, that's a nat one.
Lovely.
Kicks open door.
Um,
Bottles of alcohol just clink against each other on the floor.
well, I'll be a little bit gentler than that. You, as you make your way through the house, like you're already up on that loft area thing.
Yeah.
Um, just starting out, the loft itself, while being well made, is still wooden. And as you kind of walk, not with the intention of being stealthy for one, you find just how creaky each individual step is. And then as you get to the door, you delicately try to open it and give it just a little bit of push. But it's not enough to where it actually opens quick enough that the hinges don't creak the entire swing open.
Perfect.
Um, and ironically enough, across the room, facing the double doors, is a large bed, and Leon's kind of haphazardly thrown into it after everything that happened last night, and he's kind of like, "Don't come in here, please."
I would like to close the door in the same manner that it was opened.
Okay, just as creaky.
Yeah.
So it goes open. You guys have an exchange of like 3 words, and then it goes before you hear like the thick thud, and then the latch, of course, discharge to close the door.
Yeah, I'll go downstairs.
All right.
This can wait.
Anything for Maladin, or is Maladin just kind of sleeping in?
I don't trust Lou, so I'm not gonna sleep in.
You trust Lou to what? What has Lou ever done to you?
That's a
What
fair
has
question.
Lou
What has Luke ever done to
tried
you?
to
What
do?
has he done? Nothing. What has he attempted to do?
Yes.
A lot.
What has Lou done to you? But kiss you on the lips.
I don't trust him. Thinks I'll be
fair
in a
enough,
forever
sure.
sleep.
Maladin, you begin to stir. Guess you kind of wake up, probably still full armored, everything. It's still kind of unique to wake up and feel the bracers around your arms. It's kind of like at that point where it's so tight that it's still unmalleable. So as you like move to get up in the morning, it feels like you're wearing like 2, well, of course, bracers, but like heavy metal pieces. So there's a little bit of like a wrist roll and a laxing of muscles to kind of get used to it as you wake up. Okay. Well, after about an hour of cooking and everyone getting prepared, you do hear a gentle knock on the door before someone just kind of unlocks it and casually walks in. It is the maid that you all met yesterday. And then she walks in. She's like, "Good morning. Oh, you're making breakfast."
Yep. Was I not supposed to?
Well, normally I take care of that in the mornings, but not an issue now. She immediately begins to kind of tidy up the living room area. Not as many jugs as she's expecting to pick up. She picks up a few. Um, but yeah, seems to be a lively house with a bunch of you, and then also Leon and his usual routines going on. Eventually, you do produce ample amount of food for breakfast, and you see that Leon and Orias both at different paces. Leon first, and then a couple minutes, I'll say like 20 minutes later, Orias eventually wakes up and goes into the kitchen area.
Well, these eggs are gonna be great. They're gonna be the best eggs.
You just see the maid like shaking in fear of what's Lou's throwing in.
So like it's yeah.
Believe it or
He
not,
puts ketchup on his eggs.
she's staying relatively ignorant to what you're doing in the kitchen. It's almost like it shocks her that someone else is actually doing some of the work around here, but at the same time, it's almost like a pleasant surprise. She immediately begins to um, clean up the living room area. Eventually, she does stumble into the body on the couch. She's like, what's Mason doing here?
Who's Mason?
Mason, our blacksmith.
Oh, that Mason? Yeah, no, he almost died.
Oh, oh dear. She immediately begins to rush around, grabbing a bag that she has seemed to leave on the side of the door, pulling out bandages and such, and tries to tend to him a little bit just to get him a-okay. Where did I put my dice back? Oh, there it is. Imagine I roll on that one, and I'm like, and he bleeds out.
Nat 1, she slits his throat.
Yeah. The unknown faction that still exists sends their regards. Schlink. Is that D20? Where are the D20? It must have like sunken into the bag.
How much do you have?
A whole bag full. Okay, yeah. She's able to patch him up pretty good. And you see that she puts a wet rag across his brow, kind of cleaning off this unique cold sweat that he seems to have going on before he slowly but surely begins to groan and move, kind of sitting himself up. And he's weekly begins with where am I?
Finally awake, huh? What's this stupid
Oh,
Skyrim
good.
thing?
You're finally awake.
Oh, good. You're finally awake.
Oh God.
I don't know what you expected from me, man.
No, it's all good. He quickly looks in. He says,
We're gonna hand him eggs.
"Oh, okay. No plate. You just plop it in his hands." Um,
No.
I
Ow,
get
ow,
you.
ow, ow.
He... Oh no, it's over medium as you just like drop it and it splats in his hand and
Yeah.
it just disperses. You hand him a wooden plate, and he firmly takes the plate and he's like, well, th- thank you. You were there.
Yeah, I saved your ass from getting completely handed to you. Why do you think you could find those things by yourself?
Well, and he kind of sits up and starts picking up whatever utensil you give him, and of course, cutting up his eggs and getting ready to eat them. And he says, well, since you all seem to be new here, I'm the only one that seems to care about what happens to the people, so rash circumstance brings on rash decision making.
Well, that's stupid. Isn't there anyone else here to help?
Well, it's not like this was my first choice. He kind of chuckles at himself. Says, no, I've talked to the paladins about some of the issues, and they actually tried to put up a bounty board where you pay them to admit to issues in the town, and they sit on their asses and do nothing.
Hmm.
And the other three in the area, he kind of looks at the table and he's like, Leon included didn't necessarily disregard, but had bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, Leon, why haven't you addressed? Or is he up?
Yeah, He's
Damn,
he's
am I having
probably
you trust
he is
any of this?
quickly on his main dining table, picking up various different seasonings and spices, and adding it to your eggs. It's almost a little bit insulting, but not to the point of like being like a statement in itself. He's just ignorantly making his food taste better.
Yeah,
Uh,
that makes sense. Lou
he
just
says,
salts and peppers his.
says, "Well, I was incarcerated. I think we're trying to bury that one." Said, it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't care. It's just Mason here wasn't able to provide any proof of anything.
Well, that's why you go out and find your own proof, like I did.
That's exactly what I was up to when you found me hit 3 ways down the road.
Yeah, so where are these paladins stationed?
Well, they've been staying in the inn. They've taken up a good couple of the innkeeper's rooms and stationed here. Most of them are treating it like a field trip of sorts, and some free money off of the people here who genuinely want things to get better.
And if you could describe to me about how tough these guys are.
Well, they're as pompous as they can possibly come. They're sent straight down from where's that map at? Yes, I have many points of interest. I did forget a name of one. The middle state of Gallindary.
Oh gosh, the one that we didn't enter but passed by.
Correct. Yes, that'd be the one.
Trevel. Treville.
Yep,
Trevel.
Trevo.
Yeah.
It's like directly from Trivel. To become a paladin, you have to train alongside excuse me. You have to train with Udamus yourself, or at least that's the broadcasted trouble. To serve him and become one of his paladins, he has to approve of it.
This isn't
Whatever.
Uville?
I'm sorry?
Uville? What's
Ooville
his
or
name?
Whoville?
Udamus?
Udamus. Udamus.
Something is confusing here.
Well, we're either
Udamus.
in Adventure Time or we're in what's his name?
We're in the
Who?
Grinch.
Who? The Whoville, yes.
Uval. Yeah, Uval? No.
Udamus.
I was also
Like,
thinking
kinda-
Horton Hears a Who, and I was trying to think of actually who the writer was. I couldn't think of that name.
Yeah,
Organ, here's a who cares? This dog
the
didn't drive.
violent strained swallow. He
Uh.
quickly perks his head back up and he says, Udamus.
Whodamus?
Udamus?
Oh my god.
Who is Mrs.?
Leon's house collapses.
No!
Udamus him if he were gone.
Yes, Udamus. Say, where are all of you from?
Not
That is a
here.
loaded question.
Okay, well, if you haven't been north yet, God King Udamus runs Trivel by hand, and his paladins are kind of his enforcers. They're supposed to help out all the colonies, towns, whatever you would like to call them. Uh, he has people stationed here, the desecrated acres, specifically the bridges.
Oh, I see now.
Yes, and out of the six, he seems to be the most active with the people, although I do not believe that's a good thing. if Nebula would rear her head back around, that would be grand.
Why's that?
Nebula is one of the 6. She was mainly the studious type, but she had a kind heart. But she has a library somewhere where she tends to spend a lot of her time now. I hear it's closer to Skevel Grain, but that's all I know about it. It's very hush hush, from what I can tell.
So, you probably wouldn't mind that much if those paladins were given a reason to send packing.
Um, can I ask you to elaborate on that one, please?
You wouldn't miss them, right?
Murderer Lou here.
He
Listen.
can you make like a persuasion as to not lead him in the wrong way with your words?
No, yeah, I think it was very upfront.
Lou's got that evil little glint in his eyes.
Unless you mean I'm gonna go kill them in the middle of your town square one day. Is
Lou's
that
not
the way
saying
you're trying to?
The dude looks
He's
at Mallet
not-
and is like, does he plan on killing? Yeah, that's what he's saying.
he's not completely against the idea of it.
He looks at
He-
you and he says,
Listen,
"Look, they get on my nerves and cause issues, but when I'm kind of tied up in the ongoings of town, I don't know what's out there that they could be protecting us from. And personally, I feel like if anything direct were to occur to them, it would just harm the families here."
Lou's like, so that's a no.
So you don't want them to die, but if they left town, that'd probably be okay.
If they were to leave of their own fruition and not report Weathermount as a hellish town of raiders, bandits, and murderers,
But what
And
if
it specifically says murderers?
bandit, what
yes.
if a raider, bandit, murderer were to attack them? Someone from outside the town, came in and attacked them. That wouldn't be an issue for you guys.
There's something fun about hearing the squeak followed by the slight giggle through the microphone as the contemplation
Yeah.
of murder is happening here.
Listen, we're doing character development here.
I just imagine it's Lou also squeaking and giggling as he's talking about it.
Can you roll for me, Lou, in insight check?
Yeah. He feels he can trust this guy. That's a 12. Yeah.
Okay. He's not doing a very good job of hiding it. Throughout this conversation, you pick up on the very obvious suspicion that is slowly growing as you are speaking to him about this. But you also see that he is tightening the grip around the metal utensil in his hand, and seemed to be putting on a more stern, conserved face.
Boring person. Okay, he can deal with this.
He looks at you and he says, No, I would hate to think of such a thing happening.
Don't worry, I'm kidding, sir. I would never kill
I'm
someone.
just joshing you. Come on.
I'm in the trade of killing monsters, not people.
What do you define the paladins as?
Leon, who the
Maladin,
hell
don't
are these people?
ask an important question.
You see Leon lean up from eats food, and he goes, "It's a long story, but they are,
Yes.
they mean well. Just they have a," and he kind of like starts doing hand motions with a fork in hand. He's like, "They have their own way of showing it. It's the best way to put it. I'll give you a tidbit. Right there is my long lost brother. That is my niece,
Hello.
and this is her band of misfits."
Excuse you, sir.
He's,
Misfit 1 and Misfit 2. That's what I call them.
they're
wonder who-
like family.
I wonder
to
who you
me.
pointed to for Misfit One.
I'm gonna say I better
Misfits.
be one.
Yeah, I better be
I
one.
don't give any indication on which one is which.
Well, now we're gonna be fighting over it.
Okay.
I just look at Lou. I'm totally one.
And I totally won.
He looks to you, meaning Mason does, Lou, and he says, "I can understand meaning well. But from where I sit, and the, so as some might say, influence I have to keep this town safe, I don't think that is the best option if it were to tie to us in any way possible."
Understandable. In that case, we ought to deal with that monster issue first and foremost. How many of them are there?
Yeah. What were they called again? Paladinus.
Paladins. It's
I
like
like that.
Maladin.
I like the
It's rhyme.
It is, yeah. That was pretty good. Gain insight.
Gain
Maladin.
insight.
Insight.
Maladin, or you know what I mean. Initiative. Or
So Maladin gains inspiration.
You gain inspiration.
Oh, I gain inspiration.
But I also find
Yeah.
it very comical that you are like, okay, so how many are there talking about these flesh abominations? And Maladin immediately goes, yes, the paladin.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
He looks to you and he says, I've lost count on that, but there's I have a hunch on how it operates, and it kind of drove me out yesterday. This fountain in the center will stop singing at given hours of the night. During a bit of circumstances that I can't necessarily recall, I was driven outside during the first few instances. I didn't know how long they were doing it or which run I interrupted, but I saw a tiny creature with multiple limbs out there, scarfing down food and gathering it. And I was able to dispatch of that one. And then later, the fountains started singing again. And then from then, I've had maybe 6 encounters of growing threat. And this time it seems as if something from the water also intervened.
So you think something from the water drew them back in?
I'm not sure. That is the first time I had seen that creature out there.
You mean the new the fun new creature?
Yes, whatever was in the water that ended up striking me down. Yes.
Hmm.
If anything, not to pat a broken shoulder, but maybe if I were to know it was there, I could have prepared a bit better.
Well, now you know that it'll show up sometimes. It's already
Good to know.
something. We may be able to bring in some reinforcements for tonight.
Well, I
Bring
think that
in some reinforcements or be the reinforcements?
depends. I'm not sure if it will happen again tonight.
Okay, this doesn't happen every night then.
No, no. Um, it's
Hmm.
somewhat erratic, and where I run my smith shop up until the night begins to fall, sometimes I can catch the eerie silence that fills the air, and then I prepare myself the best I can and try to face it head on.
Maybe we could figure out why they're attacking this town. Because they're not attacking Southern Weather Mount.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so. The only thing I can think of is we have the shoreside shacks for selling fish. Could be magically inclined, so they've banned it from Southern Weathermount. I have noticed it simply picks up as much food it can possibly carry and probably has leaves.
Leaves?
Well, the abominations. I've not been able to take them down every time, and there's been a few times where I've gotten relatively close and they have swam away.
Hmm. So we can almost assume they're intelligent enough to flee.
Almost.
Almost.
Oh,
All right, we can assume they're intelligent
There you
enough to
go.
flee. And they're food driven, most likely.
Leon pitches in and he says, "Well, if you needed proof, I'm sure I can have a contractor send you the bill for my front door, and also, um, I don't know. Are you guys able to drag that corpse over to Mason's place?"
Yeah, I could probably do it myself, you know.
A strength check.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, we don't need to take it far. That's more than enough. If anything, I can bring the paladins over to show them if that's the route we want to go, or I don't know how much it'll change their opinions."
You know what? You could just drag them over here, yeah. Something to get them off their sorry asses.
Maybe so. There is something else that might help, but I'm not sure. I've been in this side of Weathermount for quite some time, and before Leon, um, the Mason, and Brontis headed over this way, uh, the protection from the paladins were first of all helpful, but second of all they would station themselves westward, um, at a mansion that has since been dilapidated, and they never said why, but they had tunnels underneath the town, I'm guessing, or connecting to various caverns that they would perform maintenance on. At first, I thought that's why
Curious.
the paladins had come here this time, but they have not cared to go down there.
So how long were they there for? At what time period? Like,
This would have been, I want to say, 3 years ago that they were doing regularly, and it began to trail off. And then eventually, of course, we decided to take this town into our own hands and build the well and kind of promote living here.
interesting. Hey, I think then he realizes Renee's not there.
Yeah.
It's like, right. I'm going to talk with my assistant about this.
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Don't tell him.
Right.
You
Where
should
are
be here
these?
soon.
Where are these extra people that you have that can help?
Probably about this time, taking a child to school.
Huh?
And I'm gonna.
But where,
With that, I think I need to go like
with
to the docks.
as you kind of, I guess, leave as he's kind of puzzling. You shut the door as he says, "A school," and then the door shuts.
Amazing.
Yep. So what is the rest of the party doing? Because I know where Lou is heading now.
I'm gonna
I
go see
mean,
how this plays out. And I have something to tell Renee.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Watch me.
If we want to, I'm going to say that probably just for the time being, Leon and Arias are kind of finishing lunch, or I'm sorry, breakfast. Mason is trying to eat food and kind of put two and two together on everything he's experienced and kind of wake up and get over the aches of the day. The rest of you walk outside and you see a figure that is very elegantly dressed, kind of skin and bones, with long hair that's kind of brushed all back. He's wearing purple robes with golden accents. And you see that he is kind of standing next to the fountain on top of like the first step. And he's kind of irate as he has quite a few different individuals before him holding instruments. He's like, "I don't care. Play something, please." It's like, whatever it has to be, fill the air with something. Before
this
you
is your
hear,
moment. Oh.
before you hear a bunch of different individuals. Let me see. Talk to each other and begin performing. Why did I put that dice back there? Just
Is the well not playing?
it is not.
Whoa.
And you hear music begin to fill the air, and it's fairly good. And you see this individual kind of curse to himself under his breath. It's kind of hard to hear over the brass notes and woodwinds that are beginning to play as he suggested something before he slacks his shoulders, jumps down onto the stone floor before him, and begins to walk to that northeastern purple roofed house on the map. But other than that, yeah, you guys are perfectly fine to head down to the dock if you would like to.
I don't like that guy, Layla.
I could totally play better than them.
I could totally kill him.
Lou, are you a bad
Yeah.
person? Sounds like something a
No.
bad person would say.
Aren't
I'm
we
not a
the
bad
baddies?
person. We're the bad guys. No,
Imagine
I'm.
the second memory Lou unlocks about their past is them murdering someone in cold blood.
Oh, please.
That would be so funny.
You feel. I don't think you feel bad at this point.
Dang. Okay, maybe not. Jeez.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So you guys head down to the dock, and guess might have to wait for just a second. Yeah. I would say you guys have to spend maybe 30 to 45 minutes on that dock before you see this Furbolg in the same boat that you guys recognize coming over. You see that he has a little bit less fishing equipment this time. He has like a large portion of his boat that's kind of open. And sitting across from him, you see Pugnat and Ronaine.
Oh, that's handy.
And he quickly
No Neela?
no Neela. And he pulls up to the dock and begins to kind of tie off the boat this time. And undock, you see this same lady that you saw the other day that was screaming at him quickly approach. And he sees you guys kind of standing there waiting and quickly palms her a couple of gold pieces without saying anything about his boat or his docking intentions, which kind of annoys her. But him, Renane, and Pugnat begin to walk up to you guys.
Hold on. Typing. Pugnut got corrected to Pignut.
Where?
In my notes. I didn't even know
Oh my-
Pignut was a word.
I
Disgusting.
didn't know pignut was a word either. I can kind of assume what it means, but
Yeah.
A delicacy in
It's
some
a,
locations.
Delicacy. In southern Weathermount, actually.
Hey, hey, hey. Call it by its proper name.
it's
Weatherport, not Weathermount.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
um
Wait, I said the right one.
yeah. And as they approach, he says, well, I reckoned I was gonna dock today. I didn't know if we had thought any more about that negotiation thing we were talking about.
Oh, yeah, I still need to talk to Scotha about that. Where's Neela today?
Renee pitches in and he says, well, she said she didn't have to go today.
Oh, all right.
So
I
she
didn't know schools
decided
had
to,
off days.
You mean weekends?
well, I mean,
What's a weekend?
What
he
is a
says,
weekend?
yeah, and does air quotes. He's like, yeah, school. But no, she is staying behind and helping your mother with various things at the house.
Oh, all right, yeah. Yeah, I still think the agreement's a good idea. I mean, Ronaine, they probably wouldn't mind if some guy just waltzed up solving all their problems, right? We could go ahead and get that ball rolling.
Well, if you have the idea, yes. I mean,
And we have the food
Bugman here
stuff.
could most likely send something to Skatha. I mean,
Oh, I forgot he could do that. Yeah. And wait, didn't Lou already
Bugman
buy some
immediately
food
raises
stuff?
his hand and he's like, yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Pugnat.
Hey,
Did I
guys.
misremember, or did we buy food stuff? Hi, Pugnut.
I think you did buy foodstuffs.
Yeah, it's in the bag of holdings.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably.
We do have stuff if you have room for foodstuffs, if you wanted to get that started today.
Well, I tried to clean up as much as of the equipment I'm not using as much as possible. I got a pretty decent sized hole.
And what were you thinking about pay? I mean, we want to pay you fairly for this.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking that would be kind of step one, but or meeting. I don't know how this stuff goes. I'm just trying to help out some people.
And we want to help you out for helping us out. Layla.
Huh?
What's a good wage? What's a fair
Hmm.
wage?
How much do you make a year?
How much do you make a year? God.
Consulting the charts.
Uh,
Listen,
you-
good
you
sir,
kinda-
where I come from, we believe in 15 gold minimum wage.
he says, "Well, I make enough to get by. I mean, I'm never really thought about it that like far ahead. Depends on the fish and everything else going on.
All
I'll tell
right,
you what.
mister.
Why don't you sell this to me? Why don't you kind of give me an idea of who I'm helping and what I'm taking and what's expected, and we'll kind of go from there.
I'm
I
gonna,
know we talked a little bit about it the other day, but
I'm gonna elbow the bard.
All right. You know what? You know what? Here's the thing. You know that kid? You know that kid you help?
yeah.
Yeah. They're starving. All of them over there, they're starving. Dying. That's right, Lou, right? That's right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Lou,
So literally,
Renee, you starved as a child, right?
Ronan, you started as a child, right? Lou's assistant.
No. Why do you call him that?
I'm sorry. The fuck did you just say to me?
Why do you
Sorry, that's
call
what
him
Lou
that,
said. I
Layla?
thought it was
No,
okay.
I didn't. No, I didn't. She's a liar, Renee.
Ronan,
You know
I
what?
would never lie to you.
I didn't want to speak right now anyway, so I think you guys can handle this for the minute.
Lou,
What? What?
how dare you call Ronan your assistant?
I would
Anyway,
never do
there are
that.
children starving. You need to get over yourself, Lou. There's more important things going on. Okay? Stop being a drama queen. I'm gonna turn to the
I'm
fisherman again.
not.
Then I'm gonna turn to Ronan, actually. I'm so sorry for him. Then I'm gonna turn to the fisherman. Alright, here's the thing. Children are
Excuse you.
starving. And I mean, look at the effects it has on these people. Lou, he was stunted in his development.
I was not stunted.
Just look at him.
Well, from what I can tell, Isney fed you pretty well.
She did.
Things were better back then. Things are bad now. So
Layla,
people need this. And the whole point of us getting over it's not fun, all right? I know it's not fun. It's not something I want to deal with. I know it's not something you want to deal with. But don't you want to be a hero? Like it would make you not that you're not a good person, but it would be like a better tier of good person to help starving children and adults too, I guess. That's kind of important for like the workforce and your clients, but let's not get too technical.
Roll for me a persuasion check, please.
There's no way that works. It's a
I'm
nat
so
20
close.
plus 10
Oh
to
my
a
God.
30.
Oh my
Shockingly,
rolled
we
twice
had the
this
we
session.
had
Oh
the
my God.
bard do something.
He looks at you all and he says, "Well, if I'm being completely honest, I'm all right with the idea of helping people out and being a hero, but as long as that goes mainly to the people who set this ordeal up, I'm all right with that. Um,
Honestly, it's going to the
It-
most charitable person I know in
since this is kind of a dire situation, how about I do this first one, and then we'll see how it goes, and I'll kind of report back, and we'll worry about the next one."
All right, sure, but how much was that docking fee?
Oh, it was about 5 gold.
I'm gonna hand him 5 gold.
Thank
We're,
you.
we're at least covering that.
Oh, it's no worries. I mean, like I said,
That's-
I'm pretty well off. I haven't made much for a while, but that's what you keep under your pillow for. And he kind of pats you on the shoulder.
Yeah, but come on.
All right. Well, if you insist. And his big cow hand is held up for him, and money is exchanged.
Yes.
He says, "Right, should we load up? You guys spoke as if everything kind of gets unpreserved as it enters. What are we doing about that?"
I tried to get a lot of non-perishable foods, breads and stuff that'll last longer. I'm really Ronan.
Hmm.
That should work, right?
Lou, I think you need to apologize first.
For what?
Well, I'm worried that it won't. I mean, from what I could tell, the reason they were um using, and he kind of thinks about it, he says the the last kind of deal was because the cargo was kind of sealed. Not
So
only
it,
did it help with the bridge fees and everything else, because you look at what he was carrying and you can't really argue with it without opening things up and making a big deal. Um, but yes, he would make sure that it was kind of locked tight where the air couldn't really mess with it.
how long does it take for the air to really take effect and mess with stuff?
It's rather quickly.
Because that food had to then be distributed.
Yeah. The
And it,
way I remember, before having to run recklessly trying to find people, um, is that they would kind of make it a big deal. They would take it to the church, and then they would unseal it there, and then kind of hand things out.
do you think a bag of holding would work?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll go buy that other bag of holding so Layla can keep hers. Because Layla doesn't care about starving children.
Lou,
Yeah,
are you going to offend everyone in this party today?
that's the plan.
I'm going to tell Leon to hit you.
He'll miss.
I think Ronaine hushedly like goes up to Maladin's side, and he's like, he really doesn't think that he can just insult everyone to kind of like make everything neutral, does he?
I believe he does. His
That's
head's also
exactly
getting
what
very
he does
large.
think.
Right. If just between you and me, if I miss a blow, like I normally parry it or like try to what do you want to say? Just deflect it. If I loudly go whoops and miss entirely, you wouldn't look the other way, would like you wouldn't think about it much.
Oh, I have no.
Okay.
I
All
trust
right.
your abilities.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
in unison. Nothing.
Well,
Oh,
I'm glad you two are
nothing
getting
we won't
along.
discuss in our morning meeting, sire.
I'm just gonna tell your mom what you said.
About what?
Oh, that's
Okay.
a good idea, actually.
Okay. Ronaine, brother.
You
I,
cowman.
brother. I'm sorry.
Just make sure that Scotha knows that
Do
Lou
not.
and his lovely assistant made sure
No.
that this got there
No.
perfectly fine.
It was very early in the morning. I didn't mean it. I was
He,
sleepy.
For the
he,
record,
he
Matt.
looks to Renee and he says, I see that your feelings are a little hurt, so I'm gonna overlook the fact that you just called me a cowman.
Cowman.
That's right. Why would you do that, Ronaine?
But I'll send the message.
Please do not.
And then Renee looks at you and he says, "Sure, apology accepted. It's fine."
Maladin doesn't
Right.
actually say this, but Cowman, do you know what Lou said about you? He called you steak.
He didn't. That's
Said you look
actually
delicious.
why.
Right now, that's strike two.
No. And
I'll tell you what, I'm kind of glad that there are starving children on the other end that need my assistance because I kind of left that past behind and I intend to keep it there.
Oh
I
god.
like how I preface that by saying Maladin doesn't actually say this, but
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm going to get the bag of holding.
Okay.
And Chuck Maladin and Ronaine in it.
Yeah. It was. How much did that cost again?
A lot.
Oh god, trying to remember. Like I said, this would be a very. I don't know if you have your people watching Carbo. It would be very nice to have like a shop option as well for
I don't have
standard
my
price.
people watching. A shop option would be really good. Or like something for the DM to reference.
Because it would be a very standardized thing, I think, of just whether you go and like online, you just find like a gold pricing and
Yeah.
just kind of base it off of that. So like standardized for the fact of common, uncommon, etc. But also offering like the ability to what am I trying to say? Just like edit that price as well. But that's just a personal idea.
All right.
Google, one of the most searched things on Google is how much air bag of holding.
Oh
Hmm.
How much
gosh.
air do I have when someone chucks me in there?
Well, that's actually a thing, funnily enough. But
True, true.
geez, does anyone remember?
No,
No.
Damn,
nothing.
I definitely have it written down.
Who are you? Where are we?
that would be lovely.
Where are you?
Who to miss?
I'm so sorry.
Haversack is 225,
Mhm.
and the bag of holding is 175.
Yes, okay, that sounds about right.
Silver, right?
No,
Gold.
So remember, I used because uncommon items are typically 100 to 500, and I know I gave you guys a little bit. I was gonna say 200 at worst.
Yeah.
But
So
175,
175.
100%. That's good to go.
I'm gonna go into the platinum, I think, for this one.
Okay.
Each platinum's worth 10 gold.
Yep.
So 22 platinum is 220 gold.
Yep.
Minus, what did I just say? 170, 175?
175.
Leaving me with
And I think we had this
45
conversation.
gold.
Yeah, I think we've had this conversation. Just make sure that you enter it correctly on your sheet, because if you try to remove 175 gold and most of
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
platinum, it won't automatically pull from that direction.
So here's what I can do. I do have. No, here's what. What am I gonna do? Okay. So I'm gonna take away all the platinum, right? All the platinum gone,
Okay.
and then input 4 platinum, and then input 5 gold. But then
Okay.
that would be lose pockets in the gold. He's trying to keep his pockets removed. So he's just going to round up, down, all around. Remove 10 gold, add 1 platinum. So he's just putting 5 of his gold back into that coffer, just making an even 5 platinum remaining.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Lou now has 173 gold. We have 5 platinum for the children, for the starving orphans, much like Ronaine, my lovely assistant.
Set above table.
Yes, that's above table. And we now have, hopefully, a bag of holding.
Mhm.
And that's why I became a math major.
Nice. I'm glad, because I was reading a forum post as you said that, so I can just say those are funny words, Magic Man, and everything's
Yeah. All right.
as long as you know what you just did.
I'll come back to the docks after buying the bag of holding
Okay.
and having a really fun conversation with the guy in which I do not insult him once. And
Okay.
come back. All right. Layla, can I see the food? Can you just dump the foodstuffs into this bag?
No, I'm mad at you.
Layla, why are you mad at me?
You were mean to me.
I'm sorry I was mean to you, Layla.
I don't think you're sorry. I think you're sorry about the consequences.
I'm sorry about both.
Well, that's fair enough, but I'm still mad.
Here's how about this, Layla? If you
What's
did you
happening
get
with the mic?
waterboarded?
If you throw your iPad into
Okay.
a washing machine,
If you what? What did you say? My earbuds dropped out of it.
that's what I was talking about.
Okay,
All we
yeah.
heard was like the warble noises.
Yeah.
It was Layla.
everything off my desk dropping. Layla, if you forgive me, I will let you hit me once. Real hard in the face.
Lou, I don't want to hit you. You're my
Layla's
friend.
like, bet. Close your eyes. And then like motions for Maladin or Ronaine to come over.
Motions for Leon to come over.
Layla, in my years of experience that I do not remember, I've
Mhm.
found
Yeah,
that hitting people is a very good way to solve problems.
Lou, has that ever worked for you?
Ronaine, has that
When
ever worked for
Ronaine
me?
wasn't there.
I cannot attest to whether it does or does not work for me, but it feels good. To hit someone.
Layla, you see behind Lou's back as
Yeah.
Romaine looks you dead in the eyes and quickly like mouths the word while shaking his head. No.
Mm. Lou, I believe you, but I don't want to hit you. So, what if?
Well,
What if? No, no, I will forgive you. I'll let you see the bag on one condition, and I will not
my,
budge. This is the only thing I want in the entire world.
what's your condition?
I want to get a party dog.
But we have a party dog, Layla. He's right behind me.
I'm gonna look at Ronaine.
Alright, that one wasn't that one.
Well, is that said in character or no?
I'm trying to decide.
I think that's a yes.
I think that's a yes because it's real. I think Lou thinks it's really funny.
So about hitting something when you get annoyed.
I'll give it to you. You see Ronaine's eye twitch a little bit.
Okay, that one was in poor taste. But and Lou is laughing.
Okay.
But you have to admit that was a good one.
I'm not talking to you anymore. Ronaine,
Yes, Layla.
can you deal with my bag and not let Lou touch it? And also, can we get a dog?
Sure I can. Probably not. How does this thing work?
I'm gonna open it up and just show him like the way more space inside than there should be.
Layla opens it off and just
I
like
gathered that part, but how do I get something specific out?
Oh, like any other purse, you just take everything out until you find the thing you're looking for.
you
So I
dump it
can't just
upside
like
down.
stick my hand in and think really hard about rations. And as he says that halfway through, his voice
Look,
cuts.
Ronaine,
And
buddy,
he pulls his hand out and he is holding a bag of rations.
it can do that?
Quick,
Apparently,
quick, reach in and ask for a new arm.
I hate all of you.
Hey, I didn't do anything. I'm innocent.
No, you don't.
So about that dog, though? About the dog?
No.
We can...
Layla,
Reach in and
it
ask
would
for
be
a dog.
really dangerous for a dog to
I'm
travel
reaching in and
with
asking
us.
for a gun.
I can't wait.
Nothing fills your
The
hands.
thunder from the sky it just loudly booms. Lightning strikes, and it's like God said no.
Look, we have a dog.
I'm getting a dog. Just so all of you know, I'm getting a dog.
Just so you know, that dog is going to pee on the carpet,
Mm-mm.
and then
Layla,
the
if we
carpet's
get a
going to
dog,
strangle it.
You're going to get sad when the dog dies horribly in combat.
Listen, this is a real nice conversation and all.
Right.
Oh, you're
sorry.
still here.
Yeah.
Ronaine, just stick the rations in this new bag.
Sure. He takes the haversack, turns it completely 180, and kind of gets the lip close, but he remembers what the dude said about the interdimensional spaces entering each other.
Gosh.
And you
Oh,
see
that's
him close his eyes for a minute, and then you hear almost like candy falling into like a trick or treat bag. A bunch of ration things just flopping out of the bag, and
amazing.
all of the rations kept within Layla's handy haversack are now inside the bag of holding.
I'm going to close the bag of holding, give it to Man. When you're ready to actually give this whole bag to the church, explain it's a bag of holding, explain they just have to reach in and think about rations and the rations will come out. Have them give it back to you when the rations are distributed, and then I guess report back here.
Well, I mean, I don't really have anything to do today, so if anything, I can just stand around with the bag open thinking about rations all day until I can't produce any. And then I'll head right back and give it back to y'all. What time do you guys need my services today?
Um,
What time do I need to be back around here?
I don't think so. I think we'll be good today if you just want to come back by tomorrow.
All right, I could do that.
And we will message Scatha to let you know that you're coming if she can maybe meet you. That's something, Ronan, that's something that she could do, right?
What's that?
It's like meet him. That wouldn't be an issue. I don't know what her schedule's like.
No, I think if she can't make it, I'm sure she'll get someone else out to meet him. Wherever he's able to find purchase. She might actually send a couple of her trusted mates out there to.
Are those people I'd know?
Yes.
We're gonna have to do flashcards later about that.
Maybe. I mean, yeah.
Everyone
It's kind of been
needs a name
as
tag.
people appear, I kind of look at you and say, "Oh, this is Fuddy Duddy the Jester," and things like that.
Do we know a Chester?
No, we don't know a
Who looks at
Jester.
Layla.
Oh,
She's not here to say anything.
Really sad. Oh gosh, yeah. Sarah texted group chat and said
Yeah,
she'll
I
be
saw that.
right back.
Okay. All good.
Man.
I'll just go ahead and say that this interaction is completed, unless any of y'all have anything else to say to the Furbolg.
No, I don't think so.
Well, not that I should.
Don't
Fair enough.
say insensitive things to the purple, please.
Lou, how in need of milk are we?
I don't know why you'd bring that up right now, Maladin. Milk spoils way too fast for the desecrated acres.
y'all. I'll get the job done. I'm gonna head out.
I'm so sorry for him.
As he slowly walks off and his voice trails along with him.
Pugnat,
Yeah.
do you mind doing us a solid?
I'm guessing I will be messaging. Did you say Skata?
That is why you're the best. Have you not met? No, you have met her.
I was there.
I was there.
I'm there a lot of the time, actually.
You just don't notice. I understand.
That's because you're the best. Pugnat.
I was kind of taken away from my own continent to kind of follow you guys around, so I've been here for a lot of things.
And you were, oh shoot, you weren't there when I didn't call Ronan my assistant. You can't prove that I didn't, but I didn't.
No,
Anyways.
we were watching the Furbolg man beat fish with a wooden paddle.
Well, that's
you
entertaining.
You called Ronan your assistant? That's
No.
Yeah,
They kept trying to remind him of like bounties and stuff from his past life, and he kept going get and smacking him.
Wait, bounties from his past life?
I didn't ask him about it really.
Why is Pugnat going southern?
I don't know.
I was about to say.
It's one of them things. It's like whenever I'm around my family, right? Like it is a very conscious choice of mine to remove my accent from everything I do. And As soon as I'm around my family, I just put that wall back down. So, of course, channeling a country accent has brought one out. Except for when he was saying things in the Furbolg's voice.
Yeah.
Nasally Furbolg voice.
Anyway, Pugnet, how do you feel about steak? I could
How does he feel about what?
steak. I could char the cow real good with my sacred flame.
With holy
No.
fire!
Bad
But
Pugnet.
yes, I can send a message to Skatha because I was there and I met her and yeah. Museum do some weird motions with his hands and begin to speak, but you cannot hear his words. And then he turns back and he's like, you know, she's really nice. She said thank you, little one, and it didn't feel like an insult.
Well, I think that's because everyone's sort of little to her.
That probably softens it a little bit, yeah.
Man.
I mean, I
Oh.
think I was probably
I was about to say
little-
something.
little. I kind of am still little to her, huh?
Right, yes. So what did you guys find out? Wow,
Oh,
Pugnet,
yeah.
like what have you how'd the family meeting go?
We killed an abomination worse than any of your nightmares. Want to see it?
That's a very interesting family meeting.
I accept
I
your
know.
challenge of worse than any of my
It was
nightmares.
way more productive than I thought it'd be.
Right. Well, yes, I suppose we can go see this creature.
I killed it all by myself.
I doubt that.
I did save the Mason man. Um,
The
blacksmith named Mason, right?
yeah, that sounds
Oh,
about right. I've
Rodan?
never really questioned it really, but some people would say Mason and some people would say the Mason.
Yeah, his name is Mason, I think.
The Mason's name is Mason?
I assume.
Or are we talking about the blacksmith that is apparently named Mason? I'm getting confused now.
I've been confused this whole time.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyways, I meant to
abomination-
ask you,
Oh, okay.
did we fight any paladins back about 3 years ago?
Probably.
There were some stationed here in an old abandoned mansion in the west.
No.
All right. So these guys wouldn't actually they might be different guys. We don't know any how they wouldn't recognize my face, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
Good.
I mean,
How
the
do
only
you
time I can think we went directly against something like that was when Meatball got shot, but that's about it.
You know, works for me. I was instructed not to kill them, but I think we could figure something out to get them to at least be useful for the
I mean,
town.
Politically, that sounds correct. Yes, I wouldn't go. I think that was kind of a big thing that Scotland taught us was not to. Now he's turning Scottish. That was a big
It's okay.
thing. Scotha taught us was not to interfere with political matters.
Really?
Well, yeah. That's why we didn't do anything to the individuals on the bridge per se. Like we talked
Man.
about throwing them over, but we didn't necessarily say that we were going to fire away or harm them. It's about a message,
Man.
not interfering directly with people's lives. They are people.
Right. I'm gonna have to reevaluate some things about how I thought this whole operation was gonna go, and I'll get back to you about that.
Were you intending to just kill individuals sent from somewhere.
Not at first, but then I kind of got to thinking
Okay,
we could
can
take
I kind
them.
of throw a hypothetical your way, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what
you've
if
killed people.
that is irrelevant? So like, think about it this way: if you like fired an arrow and pierced one lung, and with the other lung, this individual that's in a uniform was to say, "Oh no, my children from far away, I'm their only source of income," how would you feel?
Well, I feel terrible, yeah. But I wouldn't miss the throat.
As oh my god.
Okay, that was a joke. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, it was an
As
in-character joke.
I got you. But as you're kind of stammering to come up with an answer, you do see that after you try to start start your train of thought, Ronan does raise an eyebrow, and then you stop, and then you think of another one, and he raises an eyebrow again. He's like, "Well, the good news is that this is going to remain hypothetical." So
Exactly.
yes,
I mean, I'm just
yeah,
trying to. You miss the old me. I figure he was, from everything I've gleaned, ready and willing to take action when necessary. And I'm just trying to I'm
yeah,
trying
so
to
he didn't.
improve.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I can give you that one. I mean, yeah. I do have to sometimes remind myself that this is kind of like a gray area. So yeah,
Exactly. And if we go and eventually we kill a god king, maybe that's not the worst thing in the world.
if we get to a point in our revolution where we can take on the individuals causing all these issues and not hurt the personnel that are just falling within the system, yes, that is perfectly fine.
I think that's what I want.
We're gonna wait until that is a definite. But
I'm feeling pretty strong recently.
all right.
I don't know. They don't
How are
seem that
we
tough
going to
anymore.
get the paladins to do something?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Maybe we can get Layla to do her persuasion thing.
Do I hear him say that?
Yes.
What the?
And persuade them to do what?
Oh, to help kill the sea monsters.
Are we sure they're monsters? Like, what if they have a reason? What if the town has like been killing them for decades?
It's the
They were
spiders all over
really
again.
terrifying and
Yeah.
monstrous.
Yeah, but Lou, so are you.
How?
Well, you like kill a bunch of people.
I don't kill a bunch of people. I kill a bunch of monsters.
Yeah, I'm just saying, what if they have a point? What if the town is the bad guys and we just never bothered to ask?
I don't think the town is the bad guys. I think the monsters that kill on sight are maybe the bad guys
If you're
this
the
time.
killer of monsters, are you the monster of monsters? In which case,
Yeah.
aren't they the victims?
No, I don't think so.
Who's the
I mean,
monster
you've probably
first?
killed more than I have.
Well, yeah, but I killed to help people.
Lou,
My
if
killing
there
is
was a
justified.
train and there was a switch that switched the tracks.
What's a train?
Yeah.
It's a
It's a
switch.
track.
Well, this is what a track sounds like. He pulls out a mix board
Oh my goodness.
and
We
sends
got
you a
Ronan's
SoundCloud
mixtape
link.
before
Yeah.
GTA
No.
6.
No. Oh my god. Um. But okay, how are we going to do that? Like, what are we going to say?
I mean, I could
Layla,
totally do it, but I gotta be convinced of this first.
Oh
Layla,
god.
if
Yeah.
you do this, you'll save a lot of children.
Mm.
And stop. You can single-handedly save how many paladins were there? About like 3 lives.
And Lou will get you a dog.
I-
Oh.
Will not.
Oh.
Maybe if we find a dog, we can keep it. If it doesn't belong to anyone,
No, we cannot do that.
why not?
Layla, have you ever owned a dog?
I mean, I took care of my dad for a while. Mostly when he was
That's-
hungover, but
That's
And
very
boy, if
funny.
we from the stories we've heard, he is a dog.
Do I have any siblings I don't know about? Well, I don't want to know either.
never mind.
Yeah.
So yes, I think I could take care of a dog.
Are you prepared for the dog dying?
Lou, if the dog dies, I die. So yes, I'm prepared
Please,
for
That's
no.
not what we want to hear.
that. I'm ready for this.
I mean,
But-
I remember
The dog is like,
one thing from that like 9-year time period I've forgotten, and
Yeah.
dead dog is
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So you're ready to love again.
I just look at Ronan and
I
it's like, man,
am
nothing
not.
about your friendship, nothing about anything about past.
Okay, I also remember Ronan going to bat for me when Dominic,
you know,
Daniel,
You almost had it.
Dolores, Dominus.
Dominic.
Daenerys
Are you wait? Who
Targaryen.
are you
Dominic.
talking about? Are you talking about the wizard that is teaching Neela, or are you talking about the individual who owned Meatball?
The individual that owned Meatball.
Pretty sure that was Dominic. Yes.
When Dominic, I mean, tried to take my head off for having, we won't get into the hows and the whys and the who
You
was right
brought
or
it up.
wrong. I know I didn't. Now I'm bringing it down. What I'm saying is maybe a dog is a dangerous idea for this party.
Okay, I'll retire.
You'll retire
Oh,
if we
it's
can't
Donovan.
get a dog.
Sorry, it was Donovan.
Donovan. You don't know either.
Ronan's like, I don't remember the dead.
You can't. He's not dead.
He will be soon.
You can't seriously mean you'll retire if you can't get a dog.
You know what? I do now.
Okay, fine. If you find a dog, we'll get a dog.
Deal. I'm gonna hold
Okay.
my hand out to shake on it.
Man,
I'll shake.
wording.
Nice.
I'll spit on it and shake.
Fine, I'll spit on mine and shake.
All right, it's a spit shake.
Ugh.
A soul brown promise.
Now, see, the fun thing is,
Lovely.
Next special
didn't
at
say
Cookout.
where.
I
so we will
Where-
be going to a pet store.
I have never seen a pet store in my life. I don't believe they exist.
Don't worry, Lou, you just forgot. There's got to be one around here. Anyway, what?
Renee.
Okay, so there. Wait, hold on. There's a bunch of paladins, and I gotta be like, hey, we need to go fight this sea monster. Why would they not want to fight the sea monster already?
Because they're lazy bums.
Okay, got it. I'm good with dealing with lazy bums.
Everybody looks at Lou.
Why are you looking at me?
No reason.
No reason.
So is that the plan?
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna take them to the monsters and convince them.
Okay, sounds good.
Better
so
idea.
to do you one better, Mason has probably at this point already gotten them and brought them to Leon's front porch.
Awesome.
And as you all approach, you see Mason, the Mason, which you guys now know is the dude with long hair and the purple robes that was instructing the band to play.
Oh.
And then 2 or 3 people in the silver armor with gold accents as well. Well, funnily enough, they all have a very similar build, blue hair, or I'm sorry, gold hair and blue eyes, chiseled chin, except for one who seems to be a darker skin and has his hair tied in a ponytail that seems to be sitting back. His armor is not the same as the others, as he is not wearing heavy armor. He's wearing medium armor, kind of like a chain mail, and seems to have more holy symbols and everything else on him. He seems to have a completely different kit than the other two.
Okay.
We see the front, what we'll say is the front paladin, kind of speaking directly to Mason, the individual you saved, and going, Mason, I mean, I really see what you're trying to say, but all I see is a a corpse. I don't really know what you expect us to do with this. And Mason fires back and he says, I'm asking you to do anything. I'm beaten and bruised. I cannot continue to do this without any form of aid. I don't know where they're coming from. That's what I'm trying to ask you to help with. And that's when you guys kind of get there. And Mason says, look, these are the individuals that helped me. I think I was knocked out at the moment, but I woke up in their aid, and I remember seeing Lou here on the dock.
I'm gonna wave nicely.
And the paladin looks at him and says, well, there we go. It seems you have help. I mean, the thing is dead. Whatever that
There
is.
are more of them, sir.
Really?
How many paladins are there?
2, and then one that, for all intents and purposes, is a cleric.
Are they girls or guys?
All of them are dudes.
Okay. Like big dudes or like little dudes?
Pretty built dudes. Chiseled chin.
All right. Like the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents, or like a
I'd
little less than that?
actively hate that I was thinking the same thing.
You know, yeah, not far off.
Okay, cool.
They seem fairly stocky, and that includes the muscles on their chins that are very refined.
Which is
They
one
almost
muscle.
have like the two, the butt chin, but it is also fairly toned.
So you're saying they're buffer than Lou is?
Oh, by a
Yes.
long shot.
Okay, I'm gonna puff up my chest a little bit.
Okay.
I don't
Lou is
like that at all.
Lou is a
Sure.
6'2" twink.
Not. You're
Okay.
not.
I'm gonna walk up to these guys and extend my hand to meet them all individually.
Okay.
Like extend the hand like a handshake, or like you may kiss my hand.
Like a high five. No, like a handshake.
And
Handshake,
what do you
handshake.
say as you approach them?
I say, hello, I'm Layla. Nice to meet you.
The one in front seems to have one hand seated on his sword, and the other one that he's kind of using to talk. And he extends his left hand, which is a gauntlet, and very gracefully kind of grips your hand. He says, nice to meet you, Layla. I am Percival. This is Lance, pointing to the other paladin. And then he points to the cleric and he says, and this is Jax.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Jax looks at you and he says, very nice to meet you.
So, you guys are here because you're trying, or he's trying to recruit you to help?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, we were sent here from travel on private business.
Ooh, big deal.
And yes, I would agree. And we've put up a board for any side jobs that may need completing to better this community for, the greater good.
It's nice.
But that's more of a free time experience. We do that out of any kind of gestures, the fruition of our hearts. And this is, well, madness.
Mm. Yeah. So do you have that free time right now, or are you guys like busy with your other business?
Well, now that you mention it, we do indeed have to continue on with what we were doing, but yeah.
Okay. If I could like plead my case a little bit here, if you have time for that.
I mean, it's he kind of with a smirk says this. He's like, is there a choice to that,
Yeah,
or
of course. I mean, you guys are out here on your own time. You have important stuff to do, and like I feel like this is important. But if you guys have business, then I mean, I'm not gonna stop you. That's important.
Jack speaks up and he says, first of all, we have a moment. I mean, the worst thing we can do is hear the people out. Am I wrong? I mean, and first of all, looks at him and exchanges a little bit of body language, but finally goes, well, why not?
See, I knew it. I knew it. Okay, here's the thing. I had a really, really bad night last night. My dad kind of he's he's a recovering alcoholic, and I'm kind of trying to deal with that and talk to him through things. And
Yes.
no, I'm getting to I'm getting to it.
Okay. The
Last
dead
night
monster.
we had like a really, really big talk, and I finally got to sleep after trying to deal with that. And there's this monster barging in, and I slept horrible. I had a bad night, and I know I'm not going to sleep good tonight either. And I'm just really worried it's going to cause him to relapse if something doesn't change soon. And
Hmm,
I just
Okay. So you woke up, there was a dead monster on this guy's
no, we
lawn.
had to kill it. We had to kill it because it was bursting in the house, and there was more, and we had to chase them off, which was not good for my sleep schedule. I'm gonna start losing my beauty sleep, and I'm gonna get tense, and I just
So they were chased off, and we haven't seen them back
but they're
since.
during the day, but I know they're gonna come back at night. I know they're gonna come back, and if we don't stop them, they're gonna get someone who's less prepared.
Hmm.
So it's okay if you don't have time now, but if you could come back tonight and check.
He has a very deadpan glare. And the motion he's been doing with his hand kind of freezes in place wherever he last was. Um, before Jax kind of interjects himself into this conversation. He says, Percival, well, the worst thing we could do is a nightly walk just to make sure everything's okay. And he looks over to Jax. He says, well, if you need some air, I'm sure you can handle it. Perhaps Lance will go too, but we'll consider it. Is there any other business?
Besides the sea monsters that are trying to kill us, no, I think that's it.
Great. And he kind of losing composure a little bit, kind of begins to storm off. Before you see Lance with a second glance kind of scurry up to follow him. And Jax approaches you and he says, Layla, if there's anything I can do, I'll try my best. Sounds like I will be doing a scouting mission tonight.
You should probably come here first. Like we can all you can check with us in case
Sure.
something happens. I don't want you to be alone and get hurt.
Well, I am a man of faith, and I'm sure I can handle things. But if anything gets too dicey, I'll make sure to know where I can stop.
Thank you.
And he kind of gives you a farewell handshake and a little bit of a bow before walking in a not a lackluster pace, but a normal pace to follow where the two others went.
That went a lot better than I was expecting it to.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna punch that guy.
The
Not
five
if
of you,
I
Mason,
don't
and
first.
the Mason,
Why would you do this to us?
and Mason, the blacksmith.
Does he have a last name?
Well, I'm about to give a defining detail of the two, but
No, no, no. One is just called Mason the other one's the Mason.
Yeah,
His
it's
first name's Duh.
Yeah.
Do
That
That makes
not.
sense.
He looks over to the purple robed V Mason, and he says, "See, Clyde, that's what I tried to tell you." He says, Clyde speaks up, which is the Mason's real name. He says, "First, don't call me that. Second of all, they seem to be doing whatever they're here for. I don't know what you want us to do about that. Frankly, if you want to continue your suicide missions in your current state, go for it. This is not in my wheelhouse."
Well, hey, listen, Clyde. Um,
Hmm.
assuming that's your name.
It's more of the title. The Mason. I'm
The Clyde? The Clyde. All right.
No,
The
I'm
Clyde. Mr.
the
The Clyde.
Mason here.
So, Mr. The Clyde. I think
Guys.
we. I think we can get the Paladins in on this to stop. I mean, you want the monsters to stop too, right? You don't want them destroying your lovely well.
I mean, up to this point, it seems well is perfectly fine.
But
Might
look who all that's thanks to.
need to get Brontus to mess with the pipes, so maybe it begins to play again. But he's actively working on that.
So, has it been messing up more and more recently, or
I
what?
don't keep track of it.
Seems like you should.
It's a well, I'll refrain. It's undamaged. Just you know, air pockets underneath the ground. They're kind of hard to predict, so we have to do some maintenance. That's all.
Right. You know, I'm not the most technically skilled, but I might be able to go down and have a look.
Well, that's the thing. Brontes kind of has it all mechanically sound. Um, he's actively working on it inside his house, and that's frankly all he needs to do.
Huh. So all the mechanisms lead to his house.
They're all underground, and I didn't think to ask. That's more of his specialization, and I'm simply here to carve. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. Say, where does this Brontus live?
Well, and he points to the blacksmith looking building. He says, "Mason's house." He points to the porch you're all standing on. "Leon's house." Points to his right. "My house."
So the other one then.
There we go. I knew you had it in you.
Well, you know, I didn't really know where you lived. So there was still a little bit of oh, whatever.
Well, you know, masonry requires one to be perceptive. I'm sure firing arrows or stabbing things or
No
I don't
arrows, you
know,
got it the first
putting
time.
leaves within your hair is
I thought I got oh, I was gonna like pick through it. I thought I got all of those.
right.
Listen, anyways. We you do get demerit in sorting out a monster problem in this town, right? Surely you're not safe if they keep roaming around.
I don't know. I mean, the way I look at it, they're on Leon's front porch and not mine. And from the story you told the Paladins, if I heard it correctly, um, you were the one that came beating on the door, leading it there, no?
Well, sure, but I
Who did
mean,
you
that
hear that
was.
from?
Yeah, wait a minute, we never said that.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Well, you agreed to it, so he's not wrong, but
Well, yeah.
There's
Doesn't
perception again.
matter.
Wouldn't you know it?
All right, listen, I don't like your tone, buddy.
Lou.
Yeah, Layla.
We don't need this guy's help.
Yeah, you're right.
Great, I will take my leave.
I'll meet you later.
Please don't let the door kick you in
Lou,
the ass on
Lou,
the way out.
Lou,
Yep.
Lou,
mhm.
stop it.
What
Piss me
pleasant
off,
company
Layla.
Leon has himself. As he kind of quickly turns on his heel and then begins to stride over to his abode.
Leon, why do you work with this guy?
Leon is inside.
Damn it. Why does Leon work with this guy?
Money,
Mason's here, right?
Yeah, Mason's here.
Mason, why the hell do you work with this guy?
Well, it's a well, and couldn't look ugly. I'll give credit to the man. He's the one that had this whole idea.
Yeah, if only everything about him wasn't ugly, though, you know. You wouldn't think he'd be able to make something pretty.
Kind of instinctively. You don't know if he does this every time, but as Clyde opens his front door, he sends out a middle finger towards Leon's house. And you feel like it's directed to you. Then he
All
All
right,
right,
great.
All right, you know what, Lou? We're gonna hate crime this guy.
Please.
Oh my god.
Okay, next time there's a
Phrasing,
monster.
please.
Next time there's a monster, I'm not saying anything, but if it showed up dead on his door, he wouldn't know he wouldn't know it was us.
And if it happened
If
to just
you can assure me that he will not be harmed,
Never.
it'd be
No.
a dead
go
monster.
for it.
It would be a dead monster or a mostly dead monster, something like
A
that.
totally dead monster that
A
looks
mostly
alive.
dead monster with its eyes open.
Hey, does he have a dog?
I don't know.
He doesn't seem
Okay.
like the caring type of person that could take care of a lovely little creature like a dog.
Well, he also doesn't seem like he'd be able to make a pretty fountain, and here we are.
Yeah.
Unless he lied.
Arrogant but skilled.
How do you know he really did that? What if he's exploiting workers?
What if he stole the schematics?
I truthfully do not have an answer to that.
Then we could throw him in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say blow him in jail or
Throw.
Bro, okay. I
Throw.
was about to say, whoa!
Hey,
Lou's got some intense feelings about this
Oh
guy.
my god.
reverse prison break.
No.
Oh my god.
Breaking him into prison.
Don't worry, I know a really good lawyer.
Oh
Well, he's
my
not really
God.
good, but he's the best we got.
Well,
I've
please
got
don't
this.
because I talked to the a little bit of authorities we have in the area. Sounds like a real pain in the ass to them, if you ask me.
Well, whatever.
How about we figure out why the well's not working? Let's go bug Brontus. He's the only one of these guys we haven't met. Maybe he'll be a little nicer. Then Clyde, you guys are fine.
You know what,
Except for
Lou?
Leon. Yeah.
Lou, I think we should let Maladin meet this guy. I do a lot of yapping. You do a lot of yapping. I think
Do I?
Maladin deserves a chance to talk to people. I think it'll fix him. I think it'll help him.
It might make him worse.
No, I think he's got this. I think we let him have a little room here to grow.
All right. Maladin,
Maladin.
yes.
He's not BRB. Okay.
we need to entrust you
You're gonna say hey to
Listen.
this guy
talking to Brontus and figuring out why the well's broken.
and be nice.
Meanwhile, I'm going to go explore those caves.
No.
Before I went to put up a snack, I heard that a hate crime was going to happen.
You sure did.
Yeah, we're maybe gonna like haze that Clyde guy later. I'm sorry, the Clyde.
Okay, not a literal hate crime, just a crime that he's going to hate.
Yeah. A hated crime.
A hated
hate
crime.
Thank you for rephrasing that.
We're
I
gonna
don't
paint
know
his
if the
house an
lawyers are going
unsavory
to
color.
accept that.
A hateful
We're gonna-
crime, if you
We're
will.
gonna we're gonna paint his house green in the middle of the night, but only one wall and halfway.
Well, if
No,
that's,
green's too nice. We're making it yellow.
No, like barf green.
Okay.
if that's where you guys are heading, I must talk to the Millers. Their farms seems to be having an issue.
Oh no.
Huh.
But Brontis is a good man. Let me bonk it down, son of a bitch.
Meatball's not a good man.
No, he is not a good man. He's angry right now because I will not pick up his wand and play with him because I'm in the middle of things.
Mm,
But
that's a crime.
he says,
Mhm. That's a hated crime if I ever heard of one.
Yeah. A
Um,
hateful crime.
but yeah, Brontis is a good man. He's straight to the point. But it's just in his dwarven nature.
He's a dwarf.
That's kind of a complicated question, but I'm going to say yes.
He's half a dwarf. I don't know what that makes you then. Dear Lord.
You'll meet him. It sounds like you guys are about to meet him.
Okay, thank you. Nice meeting you.
Just be a little delicate.
Okay, hopefully if he's gonna be delicate too.
Is he a gnome?
He starts sassing me.
That's about half of a dwarf.
No, I don't think Brontis knows what sass is.
Perfect.
You know, I don't want to ruin any first impressions.
Is his
so
nickname Drax?
No.
Well, let's just go meet him.
His nickname is Cogwheel.
Cogwheel.
Don't say that to him.
Okay.
He won't get it.
I've got it. He's a robot.
Well,
Wait, what's a robot?
what's a cog?
All right, I'm off to the Millers.
What's a
Alright.
wheel?
Let's go
begins to
meet Brontus.
Walk off. He does seem to be a little bit chipper now after that conversation.
I figured it out. Brontus is short for Brontosaurus. He's a Brontosaurus.
That seems
You ring
right to
his
me.
doorbell. The door just breaks through. You guys take shrapnel damage, and all you hear from the inside is.
He's the most talented man ever.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. So I'm guessing Maladin will be in the lead here.
Apparently.
Yes, take charge,
But
Maladin.
you guys approach the final door. The house is very tan and stony, is the best way I know how to put it. Lots of browns and dark grays. And as you, Maladin, approach the door, you see a bunch of different unique metal doodads across this door that seem to be spinning in sync. You see that they each have teeth that kind of lock them in place with one another as they rotate. It's kind of jarring to look at. Everyone else sees gears, but you know. And then a brass tube that seems to have like a little pull chain next to a brass horn of sorts.
I could use that. Or I could knock.
Oh, it'll be fun. Pull the lever.
Well, not when you say it like that. You gotta say it right.
Kronk, pull the lever!
Pulls the
Maladin,
lever.
pull the lever. Wrong lever.
The trap door opens next to me where Lou is standing. Wrong lever!
No.
I pulled the lever.
Okay. As you pull the rope tight and slowly begin to pull down on it, you hear air begin to escape this tube it's attached to for making what everyone else would know as like a stereotypical like steam horn or steam whistle. The very low tone, like you know what I'm talking about. Before some of the gears on the door shift position, you see one kind of like pop out for a second and then like pull up on a single axis before slotting in, and another part of this door begins to rotate. And you see this brass horn next to the whistle has a voice coming out of it. It says, Yes, this is Brontis.
Hi. This is...
Hello.
Looks over at the elves. Not manservant Maladin.
Hello. I am not manservant Brontis.
Hmm.
This guy...
Can I help you? If you're here about the fountain, I am well aware and currently working on it.
Okay, well, looks
We
over at the other
have
two.
some
What was I...
details to share about it.
Yeah, what was I supposed to add? He's working on it. What do you mean? He just answered.
Oh, do tell me about my craft. What seems to be the issue?
Oh, well, we just, Maladin, the thing about it stops playing and the monsters come out. Tell him about that.
I mean, is the fountains stopping that, or the monsters stopping it?
I think the fountains. Well, all right, we've got two theories.
Can you
Did-
make your fountain monster-proof?
I'm sorry. Did Mason put you up to this?
No, we're here of our own volition.
Well, he pointed us in the direction.
Okay.
But we think monsters might be clogging up the
The
pipes or whatever.
Are you a technician or a plumber?
I'm a simple architect of gears, cogs, and whistles. Give me just a second as you kind of hear like some strain through the tube. Uh and you hear almost like a reverberated metal tinging. And he says, "Well, no, this pipe is clear. I don't see any blockages."
How does it operate?
Well,
I mean, they're systems underground, right?
oh yes, certainly. I have my own little nifty crawl space. I should have made this 2 feet taller. That I kind of go underneath and check on all the bells and whistles. See, it's a rather fine bit of my work as he groans and tussles a little bit more. Um, it's kind of how I control all the air coming from underneath the ground. Kind of
So if you
it's like all things nature provides, kind of chaotic at moments, but with a little fine tuning, you're able to get things to sound just right.
well, if you can be sure that nothing's been blocking them recently, then I think we can conclude it has been stopping the monsters from coming to harass the town.
Monsters?
Yes, the horrible sea demons
Are
from.
you sure Mason didn't send you over here?
I can prove that they're here. I mean, they are at Leon's doorstep if you want to come out and take a look.
Roll for me persuasion, please.
Or we could drag it the
Absolutely.
30 meters over to his front door.
I mean, he has eyes that can see. You said
Does he?
persuasion?
Yes.
I'm really good at that one, guys.
Yeah.
That's a nat 20.
Nice.
Hold on.
What, Leon killed one of these suckers?
Well, no, we killed it on Leon's doorstep.
Leon can never kill it, let's be honest.
Hmm. And you almost hear you watch as like the cog that kind of displaced itself to activate another mechanism pop back out and lower back into its position. And then about 20 feet near the center of this little square, you watch a metal grate kind of pop open. And out from it, you see what almost looks like mechanical limbs as one comes out and then the other one does for this creature upheaves itself from underneath the ground. You see with full metallic features and different systems in place to kind of actuate like physiological parts. A rather tall mechanism itself. And for those that don't know, it almost is, well, it's a warforged, for those of you that know what that is.
Oh my gosh, he is a robot. I was right.
And you see a head poke out about to the nose before two pistons in the arms begin to push it up. And where you would expect, for instance, like a dwarf or any humanoid to have a beard, you see rows of tiny chains that have kind of been affixed to this faceplate to take place of those, as they go about 3 feet below to his chassis, as he pulls himself out, and then does a quick roll before swinging an arm over and pulling the grate back in place. And you see that has almost like this stone facade over it to keep the aesthetic in check. And he rises up to almost 7 feet tall, and approaches you with heavy footsteps.
Guys,
Now I have to ask, this is so
Mhm.
important. Would Lou know what a warforged is?
Roll for me a history check.
Oh,
You
nat
were
20.
hovering the button. Oh my god.
I guess he does. I was gonna make a joke, but no, he knows exactly what a warforged is.
You have, you know when you're really thinking about something and you kind of have that brain fog that gives you a slight headache because you almost feel like the answer is right on the tip of your tongue, or the thought is right at the edge of your brain.
Yeah.
You just can't quite place it. You begin to feel that feeling of, yes, I know what this is. I have interacted with one at some point, but the features don't match up. It's almost as if you've met one of a different, we'll even say make, model, whatever you would like to. More of a glistening gold look with unique metals around it, a more subtle feminine frame, and a softer voice. But you feel at some point you have indeed met a Warforged before.
Ronaine, I have such an important question for you.
What is it? Do I need to draw my sword?
No, Ronaine, we know someone like that. We know that's warforged. Who do we know like that?
He raises an eyebrow.
No, Ronaine, come on. I don't remember anything. There was someone though. A woman. There was a woman.
I have not seen something like this in my life.
What? No.
As
We're just gonna try to trail. We're just gonna trail off after that.
fair enough. And as you do, I guess Baladin, since you were up front, this
I'm just
very
staring up at him,
large-
hearing Black Sabbath in my ears, being like,
sure,
it's
absolutely.
Iron Dwarf.
And you almost see that the very edges of the chain beard he has that are near his chest seem to be close to some form of very hot, like, exhaust fan, as they glow with like this nice little orange hue.
He
that
has an
heated metal
arc
is.
reactor too. This
And
is so cool.
you hear with a quick movement of servos, his hands stick out, and he goes, Who do I owe the pleasure?"
Hi.
I'll. Oh, go ahead, Maladin.
I'm going to shake his hand that he has out. I am
Okay.
not manservant Maladin. Nice to meet you, Iron Dwarf.
It's very interesting as your hand is kind of thrown up and down with a very in sync motion of this hand. It is very fine tuned. As he says, "Oh yes, of course." And with his left hand, he pats what seems to be like a metal plate on his chest. And he says, I am not manservant Brontis.
You hear that,
Um,
elves? Sorry. I have to bring my
good.
hated
Um,
crime to the field.
Okay, the uh, ill one is named Ronaine. He kind of points to you, Lou.
Yeah, that's Ronan. How do you know that?
Well,
How do
you
you know?
just said his name about 5 seconds ago.
How do you know he's ill? Does he still not have the arm covered up?
No, he just looks rather gray.
Oh,
Okay.
no,
Maybe enough sleep.
I'm gonna pat Renan's shoulder, the good shoulder. No, he's just
I'm gonna
antisocial.
I'm gonna point at him and say he's ill, and then point at myself. What am I then?
You know, there are some things that are problematic to talk to people about. Uh, he simply looks like he needs a little bit more rest. Are are you okay?
You need a doctor.
You do you need a doctor?
You know, Ronan, you are looking pretty worse for wear recently.
Ronan, you're almost
I'm
looking like
missing
me.
an arm.
I mean, yeah,
I
but
wake
are you eating right?
I think that's rather low on the totem. You
Not
know
with your cooking.
about these people.
Yeah, he's a warforged. They're mechanic people. They're mechanized people. Like,
Oh, well educated. And you get a very, very sturdy and blunt pat on the back. It's almost like whenever you see like a robot program wrong, so it
yeah,
squeezes heavily and like knocks something down.
yeah. I mean, that might be enough to knock Lou down. I don't know.
Yes. Uh, and you the half breed.
I'm gonna look behind me
Maybe don't call her that.
and then look at him.
Oh, I apologize. What would you prefer?
Half elf is fine, not half breed.
Half elf. Well, I apologize. After talking to not manservant Maladin, I'm rather worried of speaking ill on someone's lineage.
Is this guy being genuine? Can I tell?
I would say roll insight with disadvantage, as I don't think you have met a warforged before.
Yeah, yeah. Insight. I got this.
Not
Ooh,
one.
baby, that's an 8.
It's incredibly hard to tell. You're used to seeing facial
Facial features.
facial features shift.
Mm.
But where there is kind of just this stagnant plate with like maybe two little almost like watch hands for eyebrows and a large chain that seems to be covering like a voice box of some form. It is incredibly difficult to understand any meaning behind what he has just said. From what you're able to tell by his natural demeanor, I mean, he seems to be almost kind of gentle gianty. Like he truthfully doesn't mean any harm in what he's saying.
Okay, okay.
Whose lineage do you hail from?
Hey. It's okay, it's okay. But yeah, in the future, maybe. But it's nice to meet you. I'm Layla.
Oh yes, he extends his hand.
I'll shake it.
You see, instead of the full blown like up and down motion that Maladin has gotten, or the harshness that Lou got to his shoulder blade, um, the only actuator that goes off is in his wrist, as it is a more polite handshake to you.
Oh my goodness. He's so polite. I love this guy. Okay, yeah. Very, very gentle handshake. I appreciate that.
I was
Not a problem.
I was really wanting you to introduce yourself as Araz's daughter, and he's like, "Oh, you're one of his." What do you mean one of?
See, secretly, he knows.
He knows all of them.
Oh,
He's kept track.
Hey, you could say you're Leon's niece.
No,
Oh, you're one of those.
I don't really like his reputation.
Okay. But yeah, see the monsters. It's right over
Ow.
there.
That went down wrong. Yeah, we point over to the porch of Leon's house.
Yeah.
It's not Halloween yet. Why does he have the decorations out?
Oh shit, you weren't kidding! As you see, with heavy clanks, him begin to walk, almost looking like he's gonna go directly through the fountain before his torso kind of stays in place, but his legs shift to walk around the fountain and then over to Leon's house.
So that's what Mason's been dealing with this whole time. I'll follow along with him.
Okay. Yeah, you guys kind of meet him over there, and he's like, "What the hell is this?"
Not sure, but it wailed and screamed with 1,000 faces.
1,000 faces.
Yes, it has. Can I kind of gingerly open one of its creepy eyes?
As you are kind of talking about the faces and everything, I do think Brontis at this point has kind of uh found where he assumes is shoulder blades and has kind of picked this carcass up
Oh my
and is
gosh.
holding it in the air, kind of twisting it back and forth, looking around. But you do see one of the faces that you pierced with an arrow kind of on the broadside of this thing.
Yeah, it's horrifying beyond your wildest imagine. And there's another one with tentacles that can sing to lull you into a charmed state, which is fun.
As you're saying that, he has kind of hoisted it onto his shoulder to free up his right arm as he has reached around to this disembodied face on like its chest or wherever. And he is with one finger moving the mouth as if making it talk. And he says, there's another one?
Yes,
Just
another
like,
one of these, at least one. And more types.
And they seem to like your fountain, or dislike your fountain.
The fountain's the only thing keeping them away, from what we can tell.
really?
Apparently. Allegedly. The court hasn't been decided yet.
Allegedly.
Well,
The
that's
jury's still out.
The jury's still
sure
out.
is a unique idea. I mean, I must know how the town persisted without said fountain. I guess it was a smaller population, of course, but
I think they might be attracted to the fish at the market. The whatever horrible magic fish have been brought in recently, maybe?
oh, I'm not one to track the fish market much these days. As he
Oh,
kind
the
of
fish talk
pats,
now.
he kind of pats wherever a stomach would be, but it seems to just be pure metal.
Oh, yeah, right. No, not much of an eater.
Right, you are. They talk.
Yeah, they what was it, Meldon? They whispered secrets?
Well, talk as in they say words, they don't converse.
Yeah.
Huh. What do they say?
Uh, supposedly secrets. I have no idea whose.
Pugnat, wasn't there something about the fisherman, telling the fisherman about his past sins or something?
Well, yeah, actually. Asking him about his bounties and everything else. And halfway through, Pugnat saying that, he looks at him and he's like, "Oh, a gnome."
I didn't see you there.
A gnome!
he-
I love gnomes! Picks him up.
As he not so gingerly slumps this corpse back onto Leon's porch in a different spot, and you see that a couple of the wooden supports underneath it kind of crack and break as he accidentally breaks another part of Leon's porch with a heavy thud, and he bends down He's like, I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to return to Skevelgrain. As Pugnet kind of stops whatever he was saying and looks to you guys very confused.
I'll look at Ronaine very confused.
He looks specifically at Pugnet, but kind of speaking abroad, and he says, from what I can tell, Skevelgrain is mainly a population of gnomes. And Bronte speaks up and he says, well, there's dwarves here and kobolds. And as he says kobolds, you can tell Pugnet's face kind of turns a little bit in like a kind of disgusted manner.
Okay. Well, we
Kobolds,
actually
really?
I don't think
Yeah.
Pugnat's from there. Is the thing.
Yeah, he's from
Ooh.
an what western continent? East or western continent?
It kind of
Oh my
matters.
god.
If you wrap far
Eastern.
enough around east, it becomes west at some point, right?
Exactly.
No.
Oh, a
Not that
wandering
multiple times.
gnome. How fascinating.
I think that's another thing that we're not gonna say. And I know you don't mean mad. That's kind of offensive, I think, though.
I will
How's
burn you in
wandering now?
holy fire.
Well,
Put me
I
down.
I don't mean that necessarily as a bad thing. I mean, everyone has their
Yeah.
own paths in life.
Yeah, it's just sometimes words hurt when we don't mean them to, and I'm just letting you know, like, no judgment whatsoever. But maybe that's something that we phrase differently next time.
I can work on it with you few, yeah.
Wait,
I have,
Layla, am I not
That's
supposed to be
crazy.
calling myself a wandering elf?
No, that's different, Lou.
All right.
now I'm rather confused. Is this
Okay.
because I said half breed earlier?
No. A little. I'm not mad about
Oh,
that though. I'm just
well,
letting you know.
my apologies. It's it
No,
must
no,
be
no,
a
no, 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 no.
dwarven tradition of some sort. You see, my nephew, he's a half breed.
You have a nephew?
Yes, I do. He's up in Skevelgrain, funnily enough.
Oh, can I ask you, are there other warforged like you around these parts?
It's well, it's not cheap. Uh, are there more? Probably.
You maybe haven't met them.
Well, since I have become the way that I am, I haven't traveled too far.
Come the way you are.
Well, I wasn't born from the womb sprouting cogs and whistles.
Oh, so you used to be a
Yes.
gnome, dwarf, or other?
Dwarf as a blanket, yes. I am actually of a Dwemer background.
Dwemer, like the Dwemer, like Skyrim.
No. No, Duragar. I'm sorry, it's Duragar. I am I did the exact same thing you just did. I was like, Skyrim.
Oh, the Dwemer. I thought they were all
No.
disappeared.
No,
Okay.
I am a
Okay.
Duergar. We are from the the Underdark primarily. We were driven down there quite some time ago, but well, I surfaced one day with some of my other peers, so we made peace with the Gnomish nations and kind of went from there.
Flee. Yeah, and then you became an insanely powerful mechanized man, yeah.
Well, partially of my own craft, but yes, you know, some things try to kill you. And when you can't withstand it, you build something that can, and then you shove your soul into it and call it an afternoon.
You know,
That's
it's
true.
not a bad Ronan, what if we cut off your corpse arm and got you a cool mechanic
No,
arm?
no, no, we are not. No.
What if
It
it
would be
shot
really sick.
lasers?
We could put a shield on it.
You can indeed. As he kind of extends his left hand and gives it a quick shake, and you watch a panel connected to like a cylindrical device pop out. For that panel splits into a multitude of them and creates what looks like a pretty well-sized shield.
You see, it would be really cool.
I think I will pass.
All right, if you're sure. But if I ever lose an arm, let it be known. I'm coming to this guy about it.
Yeah, you know what, Lou? Why don't you bring your idea to your mother about her leg and see how
Oh my
that goes?
gosh. It would go great, right? She'd
Lou,
love it.
Lou, don't do that. Lou, please shut
No,
up.
come on. Mother's Day gift. Come on.
Lou.
She could have a what do you put on a mechanical leg? That'd be she could put a sword on it.
Lou, I think that's offensive.
A shin knife.
Lou, that would definitely be offensive.
How? It's technology.
Lou,
It's innovation,
why
Layla.
don't you solve your own problems and not other people's?
All right, fine. I still think it's a good idea. You know, one that maybe could like feel the ground.
That's definitely going to be offensive.
No, it would make her life easier. You don't get the concept, Layla. It's okay.
Lou, can you roll me an insight check, please?
I'd love to.
Please, not
Lou
one.
thinks this
Please,
is
not one.
a great idea.
Please, ever in that one, please now.
16.
You can't help but notice the abundant amount of silence coming from your large mechanical friend.
All right. I still think it's really cool. I guess the world isn't ready for my ideas yet. But no, I think it's cool. I'll let it go. Anyways, the monsters. We need to
Yes.
figure out why they're attacking this town and how to stop them, where they're coming from, how to stop them,
And how to kill them. We should kill them.
and kill them. Well, we
I
know
want
how
a
to kill
dog.
them.
Okay, great. I'm getting a
Hmm.
dog.
And with his right hand, he drags it across the chains extending from his faceplate, and they do make the very well-known chain across chain noises as they rattle back and forth. And he says, well, I wish I could help. I can tell you that there's not necessarily any issues with my field of study. I was just trying to figure out which pathway to divert the air from below. Just taking a rather long time. It seems to be calm for the moment.
Right, yeah. I'm
Right,
so
yeah.
sorry. Could you repeat that? My
What part?
brain did a blank. Just the last sentence.
He basically said that um he has nothing to really provide from his standpoint as
Yeah.
uh it seems that the air coming from below whatever geyser or what have you that they're kind of funneling the air through to make that song, it seems to be settling for the moment, which is why it
Okay.
was taking him so long to repair it.
I mean, where's that coming from? Maybe we could. Layla, do you have a wind spell?
A wind spell?
A wind spell for wind, for making wind.
I'm pretty sure Maladin can do that.
Well, I know he blows a lot of hot air, but
Well, it's a fart joke.
well, that too. What if we go down there and I don't know, yell a lot? That could work. and helping you
I-
fix it.
Wait. Do we just need to make a lot of noise?
Maybe. Would
So
that
you
work?
want to follow me underneath and scream rather at me or into pipes and see if it works.
Yeah, to help you fix it.
I bet my dad could help. You know, Bard.
I mean, if
No,
one of you
that's-
wish to follow me below and attempt it, rest assured, screaming at me, I do not believe will help any situation.
Well, no, but like making, like singing. Layla, you could sing. I could
Mm.
sing.
I think that would go so much better.
Would it? I can.
No, I'm lying.
Oh. Okay, that kind of hurts.
Lou,
Good.
if you want to sing.
I
Tell
kind of want
us.
to now.
Tell us, and I will set up a tomato stand right next to you.
No.
Everybody to purchase.
You've never even heard my singing.
Oh, we could
Or
make
she
a
would
lot
be
of money.
below, or he would be below ground, so he couldn't really.
No,
We'd
she is
wait.
correct.
We'd wait. I'm patient.
This is Layla. Meet Lula.
If
Oh,
you
but,
wish.
No, actually, I could just go down with an instrument or something, and it would make a lot of noise and be a whole lot easier. Easier on the
Well-
voices.
Okay, if you insist.
Lou, if it would make you that happy, I'm not gonna stop you.
No,
But,
no. Do your music thing. I'll remember this.
Okay, well, I hope you do.
So who is going down into the below the well with Brontus?
I'll give Lou one more chance. If he doesn't, then I will.
And
No,
this
you
is
go.
probably the last action before we call it.
Yeah, it's late.
Yep.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
So you follow Brontus down, and it is incredibly cramped. It's a little bit easier for you because you are not 7 foot tall and made of metal. But eventually he kind of leads to this corner bend that kind of goes from down into the earth, up into pipes leading somewhere in the fountain that you can't really see from your angle. There seems to be a large amount of marble that is not only at the top as kind of a base for the fountain, but extends down and hides some of the piping he has done. And he quickly kind of shakes his left arm, and you see it turn into some form of hexagonal formation as he untightens it and quickly bends it to face you.
Oh, cool.
And would you mind rolling for me a performance check?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ooh, 25.
25. Okay. So what instrument are you using?
Oh, can I use my dad's?
Oh, maybe. Are
It
you
is
talking
an
about like
instrument.
your dad's lute?
The magic one. I cannot pronounce it.
Oh, yes. I got you. I think it is technically a woodwind, if I remember.
It looks like a sort of like a lute, I think.
Oh, okay. So it's a string instrument?
I
Uh,
think so.
okay, sounds good. It's very hard from your angle to hear where the sound is going, but you perform the best you can. To those above the fountain listening in, you do hear the music, and while it is kind of what am I trying to say? Echoed and kind of the magnitude of it is more abundant due to it being piped through what you can assume is like different volume changing pipes and such. You hear very beautiful music. It is a lot softer than the sound that you guys heard this fountain making prior to last night. But it's a really good performance. While you guys are standing near the fountain, is there anything else you guys are doing?
Ugnat, you finally got what you wanted.
It is
Okay.
very nice.
I think that's all we do. We're not mechanics.
Fair enough.
I don't see any
Okay.
monsters. I think it's working.
Well, Layla, when you are done with whatever song you would like to perform,
Oh, wait.
he.
This is
Yep.
important to me, but I need a second
Okay.
to think about it.
Wonderwall.
You're
No,
okay?
I think it's Hatsune Miku's World is Mine.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm gonna roll with it.
I'll send a link.
Okay. But after you perform, he quickly bends the pipe back and tightens it back in place. As you climb back up, you see that there is quite a gathering of people that are like around this well. And as you kind of surface, Brontus goes first and then leans down and gives you a hand and pulls you up with him. You see as you emerge, a large crowd of people begin to clap. And as you kind of see, even the performers from earlier are clapping for you. Clyde is kind of scoffing on his front porch. And then on Leon's front porch, you see Leon, Mason, and your dad, who has a very ginger smile as he also claps for your performance.
Nice. Nice.
But
And I
hopefully,
flip Clyde off.
you flip Clyde off.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He decides to just go back inside his house. But you do not feel as if this is a close enough sound to properly replicate it. But with that, we will call this session, and you guys will have a week to kind of scheme and plot out what you guys would like to do for the next session.
Perfect.
I
Can't
appreciate
believe I
the
got my Reddit
continued.
moment.
And
Yeah.
everyone clapped.
And then everyone clapped.
Upvote. But yeah, I will let you all go. Any last minute questions, comments, or concerns?
Yeah, is Renee gonna stay mad at me?
Yes.
Only time
Okay.
will tell.
Oh, we'll poke it out. We'll have another one of his famous pet talks with him, and it'll all be dust under the rug.
Sure, something like that.
Just give your assistant an erase. Duh.
No.
Good session. Thank you for hosting. I'm gonna go get something to eat.
Not a
Bye-bye.
problem. Bye
Had fun.
bye.
Looking forward to next
Good
week. Goodbye.
night.
Deuces.
Sure thing.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully, you all enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Haha.